Hello again lads, John with you, and it's time now for another quick update. Yes, a quickie update. Not going to go into it again, but as you know, it's only going to be all quick updates for the foreseeable future until I get things sorted out. So anyway, what have we got in this update? Well, the main thing is anyway, I'm after losing my mirror. I'm after losing the mirror. It popped off, and it popped off when I was doing something or other, and unfortunately I've searched everywhere and cannot find it, but you never know. This has happened before in the past with various little bits and pieces, and I have found them and come back and fixed it. So shall we say it's not look at that, in the middle of the update, spotted out of the corner of my eye, we have our little mirror, right? So I glue that back in to place. So all is not lost. Where was I gone? Why can I never find these things before the update, but I always find it on the update? Oh well, that's all part of modelling, isn't it? You know. So anyway, here we are. I have it in its factory fresh form, right? As you can see, it's Africa core markings on it. Okay, get that now to steady itself up. Come on, there we go. Zoom in there. Right, we've got number plates on it. We've got the Africa core symbol there. We've got the cross at that side. Right, on the back we've got the another Africa core symbol with another number plate, and on that side then we've got another cross, and that's it for the decals. Also, as you can see, I'm after getting the detail painting done on it, on the tools, the jerry cans here. Okay, I have tools again at this side. Right, we've got two shovels in there. We have another jerry can there. I'm going to make this one and the other two. I have two more now that I'm going to fit. I'm going to fit them just in there. I'm going to give them a white cross, okay, and it's kind of a whitewashed cross. It's just slabbered on with white paint, and that's to symbolise that it's water as opposed to fuel. You don't want to get them two mixed up. God no. It happened with the Americans, and I can't remember, was it Iwo Jima or Tarawa, not sure which one of those, or probably even both of them, but basically some bright spark got the idea of putting water into oil drums and sending it over to them, so the water was all contaminated. So what little bit of water they had was contaminated, and in the jungle they definitely needed water, so that's what happened to them. So that's the detail painting done on it now. Alright, as you can see now, with a little bit of pre-shading, it came out grand. Alright, we've got our nice little dark and light panel markings, you know, distinguished markings, as in you can tell one from the other, not that they're important, not that type of distinguished. So the next step now is to start with the weathering process. Okay, so what am I going to do for the weathering? Well, first of all, I'm going to do a little bit of chipping. Actually, when I say a little bit, I'm going to do quite a bit of chipping. Alright, so I'm going to do some chipping on it. Then I'm going to give it a gloss coat, and then I'll give it the washes. Okay, so what I'll do is, for this one, I'm going to do some chipping. Give it the chipping. We'll come back. We'll have a look at the chipping after I give it the chipping and a gloss coat. Then we'll come back. We'll have a quick look at that. Hopefully, I'll have that thing back on, and this time, fingers crossed that I won't. Excuse me. I won't fuck it up again. But then again, it is me, and I'm liable to do that, aren't I? Oh yeah, another bit of the detail painting. I'm after doing the wheels. Okay, what I did was basically I just took off the tracks again, did the rubbers on the wheels, and I did the bit of silvering there on the sprocket, sticky outy things on the sprocket. I also did the rubbers there on the wheels and on the tips of the indicators here. I did white Those indicators are for the driver, so he knows where the front of the vehicle is, because from where he is he can't really see. So at least with these yokes, then he knows where the front of the vehicle is. Easy for him to judge. Now these doors are absolutely perfect. They open and close. Okay, so it can be kind of displayed both ways. If you want to have it, if the doors are open, or you want to have them if the doors are closed, they work quite nicely. Okay. It's a lovely kit, it really is. It's a beautiful kit. Good old classic TAMIYA kits are, in general, you know, you end up with a nice finished model for a finish. Okay, there might be a little bit lacking on some of the detail. I know I have seen, say, you know, the Dragon version of this, and also I can't remember, was it a rifle or something someone did, but it's got all the you know, it's got racks inside here. The doors are a bit more detailed, the inside of the doors have a bit more detail on them. But that's something, if you're you know, pretty good at your old scratch building, and you've got a bit of plastic art there, or a bit of styrene sheets, you could quite easily make up little rack bins for the inside of that. But I have seen these without them as well. You know, if you ever watched the on YouTube there's a thing that they do in Germany. It'll come to me. And it'll come to me just as I finish. But they basically do drive-arounds in these vehicles. You know, vehicles that are actually still working. And I've seen sort of people doing drive-arounds in these and show the insides of one. You know, with that lovely blonde girl, Sophie Lynn, whatever way you pronounce her name. She's a gamer, a YouTube gamer, but she does World of Tanks, and she also does some walk-arounds and things like that. And she's done a few there with the Chieftain. She's absolutely gorgeous, nice short hair. But Sophie Lynn, there's a picture of her in the back of one of these, and it didn't have these the bins on the inside of them, so not all of them had them. So, like I said, for this one, I'm just going to go a bit of chipping on all the you know, the areas that would be chipped. You know, the rest of it would all be done. You know, the rest of would be done with oils and things like that, and do some streaking and all that. But that'll all be done a bit later on. So at the moment now, I'll just be going along with a fine brush and doing a little bit of chipping. For the chipping colour, I'm going to use the colour I made up for my tracks there. I still have a bit of that left. I made it up actually for the tracks on the Panther. I had a small bit of, I'm trying to find it here, dark iron. I had a small bit of dark iron, and I mixed some NATO brown with it, so I ended up with a nice kind of a rusty-ish colour. So I'm going to use that because it's kind of a mixture of, like, sort of the brown and a kind of a metallic colour. It's a nice colour to use as a base colour for the chipping. So I'm going to do the chipping on that, and, you know, on the edges and things like that. Anywhere where paint will get scraped off and stuff. The desert was very, very harsh conditions. You know, a sandstorm would literally kind of knock most of the freaking paint off it, to be quite honest with you. It depends on how long it's been out there. The sand was sort of more of an enemy than the 8th Army were at some stages. The elements were pretty harsh. So it's a case of you can do anything from, say, fresh to batter to the living daylights out of it, and at night time then the moisture would come up, so they actually rust. They do rust. People, I did a kit there at one stage long time ago, and I did a bit of rust on it. I think it was a Tiger actually. It was when I kind of started off first, and I had it pretty beaten up, and I had it in the Africa Corps markings, and I did quite a bit of rust on it, and someone sort of put into the comments, in the desert it's so dry it wouldn't rust. Well, I'll tell you, if you've ever been in the desert, and I have, well, I haven't really actually been in the desert, I must admit I haven't been in the desert, but I have been in the Middle East. I've been in Lebanon and Israel, down into Egypt, so kind of deserty, and I'll tell you, they do rust. Vehicles rust, because especially when they were in North Africa, because a lot of their things were, you know, done by the sea. They kind of went along the sort of a strip of the sea there, and if you get scratched and it gets down to a bare metal and that hits the salty air, there's moisture in that air, and that will rust, and it will rust bad, believe me you. So yes, in the desert, especially in the North African desert, things did rust. Now they mightn't have been corrosive rust, if you're getting my drift. I mean, they wouldn't have been sort of out there long enough for it to actually be deep corrosion, as in the rust. But you scrape the paint off, get down to the bare metal, literally within a week you've got rust spots, and that rust will eventually sort of eat its way through. Now they didn't last that long. I mean, they're only there for maybe a year and a half maximum, but in that space of time, you know, military vehicles, especially during the war, they got battered, they got abused. They weren't kind of always kept nice and clean, you know. Then again, you know, the dirtier they were, the more they kind of camouflaged themselves into the terrain, because they got to kind of look like the terrain. So that's just a quick kind of get out of jail free card if I go overboard with the weathering. But anyway, lads, that's it for this quick update. Don't forget to stay tuned to the channel for the next update, where we'll have the weathering done. Well, actually we'll have the chipping done, and we'll have it gloss coated, ready then for a bit more that we're going to do to it. So hit the bell, and then you'll be notified straight away when the next video is up. So in the meantime, I just want to say thank you very much for taking your time out to watch this one. Tell me what you think of the short videos. Are they better than the big long ones? And you can stick anything else you want to say in the comments box below. And don't forget, you can either give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. If you do give it the thumbs down, let me know why. I would like to know why people are giving it thumbs down. I have every now and then I get kind of 2 regular thumbs down. I can go into the analytics and I can find out that they all always seem to come from the same area. It doesn't actually give you who's actually doing it, but you get it from the same area. So I'm not going to say, but it would be nice for those people, instead of just giving me the thumbs down or whatever, just say why. You know, why don't you like my channel? I mean, I don't profess to be a professional modeler giving excellent tips. This is how you do this, this is how you do that. I show shortcuts, cheaper ways of doing things, and showing you my builds and how I get to, you know, where I'm getting to. Not saying that this is how this has to be done or anything like that. So anyway, guys, in the meantime, enjoy your own modelling. It's a hobby, that's how I look at it, and I enjoy it, and I want you to enjoy it too. So go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, paint it, and enjoy it. This is John signing off, and I'll catch you on the next one, lads. Stay safe.